Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we shall discuss the chapter Getting to Know Plants. We have already completed this chapter. Now we are having a revision of this chapter. So let us first start with the categories of plant. On the basis of their size, the plants are of three types: herb, shrubs and tree. See, these are herbs. Herbs are small plants. They have green and soft stem and their lifespan is also very short. Shrubs are bigger than herbs. They have woody structures. Stem is woody structure. They are few meters height and their lifespan is about 9 to 10 years. Example of shrubs you have seen in your home, like the lemon plant, the bougainvillea plant, China rose, all are shrubs. Then what are trees? See, these are trees. Trees are very big plants, very big, tall, brown and thick, hard stem. They live for several years. You must have seen a mango tree, a neem tree, banyan tree, all these are trees. There are other types of plants also, like climbers and creepers. What are creepers? Creepers are the plant that cannot stand. They creep on the ground. They spread on the ground like the watermelon plant. They spread on the ground. So they are called as creepers. And climbers are the plant. See, this is climbers. Climbers are the plant which need a support, and when they get a support, they climb on that support and stand erect. So these are the different categories of plant. Now we shall discuss the parts of the plant. There are two parts in plant, you all know it well, that is root system and the shoot system. The root system consists of the roots. There are two types of root found in the plant, and they are tap root and fibrous root. See, this is the diagram of tap root. In a tap root, a single roots come out after from the seed. This is a single root which come out after germination, and from several branches also arises from it. And what is a fibrous root? See, this is a fibrous root. In a fibrous root, there is not a single root. A bunch of roots arises from the ground, and though they are called as fibrous root. What are the functions of the root? You know, the functions of the root is it fixes the soil in the ground, it absorbs water and minerals for the soil, and it prevents soil erosion. There are some modifications of root also, like some roots store food for the plant, like the turnip plant, the carrot, radish, all these are the roots that we eat. They store food and grow thick and fleshy. Then there are several plant big trees. Roots are like rope-like growths arises from the branches. See, this you can see the rope-like growth arises from the branches, and these are called as prop roots. They give additional support to the plant. Then there are breathing roots. Plants that grow in marshy areas have less air for breathing, so the roots come out of the ground. See, the roots develop above the ground like this. You can see this structure, and they are also called breathing roots or pneumatophore. Then in some roots there are ring like structures, beads like structures. In some roots they have a nitrogen fixing bacteria called rhizobium bacteria. They fix nitrogen, atmospheric nitrogen, and they help in fixation of nitrogen. These are various modification of roots. Then the shoot system. The next system is the shoot system. It consists of stem, leaves, flowers and fruits. The stem is the main axis of the plant, from where the leaves arises. The place where the leaf arises is called as the node. This is the node, the place from where the leaf arises. See, this is the node, and the distance between two nodes, the gap between two nodes is called the internode. What are the functions of the stem? You all know it very well. The functions of the stem is to give support to the plant, to help in conduction of water and minerals. But there are some modification of stem also that we are going to discuss. Now let's discuss the modification of stem. Like roots, several stem also store food. Like the potato plant, there are some roots which store plant and swell up. The potato that you eat is actually a stem. Sometime when you keep potato for a long time, you can see several branches of leaves arising from it. So actually that is a root. Potato is a stem that we eat. Similarly, onions are also stem. Then there are several stems which manufacture food for the plant. Like the plant which grow in desert, the cactus plant. This is a cactus plant. The stem becomes green and thick and fleshy, and the leaves are converted into spines for defense, and so that transpiration cannot take place, and the food is manufactured by the stem. The stem becomes green and fleshy. Then in several plants, stems have thorns or spines to protect them from animals, like in bougainvillea plant. These are some modifications of stem. Now we shall discuss about the leaves. You know, leaves are the kitchen of the plant. They have green pigment called chlorophyll, and leaves help the plant to manufacture their food in the presence of sunlight with the help of carbon dioxide and water, and the prepared food is called as glucose. Oxygen is released in this process. Now let's see the structure of leaves. The parts of the leaf which you can see in this diagram. See, this is the part of leaves. The leaves are attached by the stem, which is called by a stalk called petiole. This is petiole. Leaves are attached by petiole. Then the flat green portion. See this flat green portion. This is called the leaf blade. The petiole continue till the leaf as a thick midrib. See, this is a petiole which continue as a thick rib, and this is called the midrib. And several branches arises from this midrib. Several branches are arising from this rib. These are branches, and these are called as veins. There are network of veins. Vein transport water and mineral. Veins are further divided into venules. The arrangement of veins in leaves is called as venation. The arrangement of veins on a leaf is called as venation. There are two types of venation, that are reticulate venation and parallel venation. What is reticulate venation? This diagram is of reticulate venation, in which the veins form a net-like structure, and that is why they are called as reticulate venation. In a parallel venation, all the veins are parallel to each other. Example of parallel venation is the banana leaves, the sugarcane leaves. An example of reticulate venation is like neem leaf, mango leaf, peepal leaf. This is reticulate venation. There is a relationship between leaf venation and types of root. If the root is tapped, then the leaves will have always reticulate venation. If the roots are fibrous, then the leaves will have parallel venation. Then leaves are modified. Beside manufacturing fruits, leaves are modified into other parts also and do other works for the plant. Like they help in defense. Like in prickly poppy, see, these are spines in leaves. They prevent grazing animals to eat these leaves. The leaves are modified into thorns. Then several leaves are modified into coil-like structure, spring-like structure, and they are called as tendrils, like in pea plant. In several plants like Bryophyllum, they have notches, and from this bud or leaf a new plant grows, and leaves take part in reproduction like Bryophyllum leaves. Then several leaves become thick and fleshy and store food like in onion plant. The leaves are scaly leaves, they are thick and fleshy and store food for the plant. Next part of the plant is flowers. A flower mainly has four parts, that is sepals. These are sepals, petals, stamen and pistil. What are sepals? Sepals are the green outermost part of the plant which protect the plant when it is in bud stage. You can see this bud. It is covered by this green structure that is called as sepals. They protect the plant. They are the outermost hole of the plant and protect the plant in bud stage. The buds are enclosed in a green structure that are called as sepals. Then the most colorful part of the plant are called petals. These are the petals. They are very much colorful to attract insect. They have fragrance. See, these are the petals. Then there are mostly a plant have both male and female part in a single flower, and the male part is called as androecium or stamen. The stamen has two parts, anther and filament. This is anther. The upper lobed part is called the anther and the stalk like part is called the filament. Then the female part of the plant is called as pistil. The female part of the plant is called as pistil. It has three parts: stigma. This is the stigma, then the style, and then the ovary. The tip is called as stigma, and the lowermost swollen part is called as ovary, which has ovule, and a long tube which connects stigma to the ovary is called as style. Pistil is also called as gynoecium. Stamens are also called as androecium. The stamens are the male reproductive parts of the plant and pistils are the female reproductive parts of the plant. Then some more terms we will discuss about plant. A complete flower. A plant which have all the four holes means sepals, then petals, these are the petals, and pistil and stamens. All the four holes, they are called as complete flower. Like the flowers which you see like mustard plant, hibiscus, pea, all these are complete flowers. They have all the four parts. Then some plants have one or more part missing, like you can see this bottle brush plant or a mulberry plant. They are called as incomplete flowers. In some flowers, the tepals and petals combine together and they are called as tepal. Like in tuberose, you cannot differentiate between tepals and sepals and petals, and they are called as tepals. This is a tuberose plant. Then some more terms about plant: bisexual plant and unisexual plant. A plant which have which have male and female part in a single flower that are called as bisexual plant. Like this datura plant, you can see they have gynoecium also and androecium also. But in papaya plant, and stamens are in other one flower and gynoecium is in another flower, and they are called as unisexual flower. This is all about revision of the chapter, getting to know more about plants.